Why hello there, I'm Doseku, and welcome back to Super Mario Power Star Frenzy Final Demo. So, I thought about it a little bit, and I have decided, no, I'm not going to do Magma Central. Let's just move on and forget that level even existed. So, today we're actually going to take on a forest level. Ooh. Ah yes, Yoshi Forest. Alright folks, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Alright, so here we are. This level. Alright, so while it's not as aggravating as Magma Central is, it does have its own share of problems. Now, a lot of its problems lie in the design of the level itself, but one of its most aggravating features is the boss. And, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. So, as you can tell, the stage has been invaded by piranhas, and they are everywhere. The first star requires us to knock out all the ones that stick out and shoot these little guys out here. Like this one. There we go. So essentially, the stem piranhas shoot out the little flowery piranhas that will just sit there and bite at you. They are scattered all over the place. But thankfully, our goal requires us just to move forward, and the ones that are there are easy to get. Oh man, that one right there, that's kind of hidden. I've died to that a couple times. I really don't like this level. Again, nowhere near as aggravating as Magma Central because you can actually make a good bit of progress on here fairly easily. It's just designed bad. But hey, we got a star coin. Let's go grab it. Okay. I will admit, that one was my fault. You know what? At least the stem stayed dead while you're going for the star too. So that's good. I still don't like those red piranha shooters though. And I know I say that every time they show up. And it still holds true. Yoink, yeah. Oh, right, him. Ugh. You know what, at least that one may be the least annoying of the set that we see so far. But it's not going to be the last you see of it. Not by a long shot. No, it is somewhat pretty cool that there's spiky vines all over the place to kind of get you to plan your jumps better, but in some instances they're set up in such a way that it's near impossible to get by them without taking damage unless you really know what you're doing. We should see one of those come up here fairly soon. Hey, look at this, a pipe. Let's see what's down here as soon as we take care of that guy. Alright, let's do this. Oh. Yeah. It looks like the ceiling is too low over the pit. I'm not going to risk jumping that and hitting my head on the thing, then falling into that pit just to get to that coin. Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. But yeah, that was one of the things I was talking about when I was mentioning the design of this level. I mean, it could be possible to do it, but the way that ceiling is positioned, I don't think I can do it, and at the time, I couldn't think of a way to actually make it across. Perhaps there's a crouch jump, I'm not really sure, but I'm not willing to risk it just for that. I've done that before, and that's always ended badly. Think back to the star coin at the end of the second star back in Magma Central that was over a timed area that was so tight, you barely had enough time to get that coin and then hopefully get out of there. Right, so this is one of the areas I was talking about. Now, yeah, you can jump from vine to vine, but at this juncture, I'm not really sure how, so for the various times I had to go through this stage, I always took a hit there. And I think the developer understood that too, because that's why there was a mushroom right after that. But thankfully we're out of there, and now we're right here. Just gotta be a little careful. Oh.
Oh, no!
Yeah, I kind of had that coming. I have to figure a way past this. One moment. Yep, there we go. Alright, that was stupid. Let's just oh, right. Yeah, that. Again, a weird vine placement in a spot that you can't avoid with a little piranha enemy in the middle of the platform that you can't really tell is there all the time. Right, I think I took a hit to that once too at one point. Alright, it's no problem, we have this. I think we're at the latter half of this area now. I really wish I had a fire flower. Fire flowers seem to be really useful against these guys, with the exception of the stem up over there. In fact, only one thing hurts those, and that's this. Well, not the big one, but any little plant we drag up. And I missed. Okay. Well, maybe there's something on this side. And yeah, I could have used the turtle had I not actually killed him. Huh. You know what? Let's say that was kind of needed. I could see from here that there was no way I was going to get to that thing without taking damage, and then if I do that, I lose my plant, and these plants don't necessarily come back, so I would have been crap out of luck. Here we are. Nice. Whoop! Oh! Right. Again, nowhere near as aggravating as Magma Central, and I believe the first star here is actually pretty easy to get once you get the hang of things. Oh, careful. Alright, so that's a loss of an ability. Not an issue. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Again, poorly placed freaking vines. I forgot this is the section that's gonna cause me no end of pain. Let's grab this, and let's do this again. Alright. Let's see if I got a better hit. Of course not. Alright. So, perhaps those coins lead to safety. Let's find out. Maybe there's a shortcut out of this. Oh.
Oh, no!
Right.
Mamma mia!
You and me, brother. You and me. Alright, we're taking a quick stop here just to show you how annoying this area can be.
Oh, no!
Like right there. I figured just skipping over spots like this wouldn't do justice to show how bad this place can be done. Again, I didn't notice that Piranha was even there.
Oh, no!
Alright, so I hope you had fun seeing just how bad this can be done, and we're gonna continue on like normal now.
I got it!
So we shouldn't be too far away from those dreaded pipes that game overed me the last time I was here. Just past these trees. Oh yeah, and the thing with those guys up there, those little fireballs don't come down immediately. What seems to be happening is that they hang out just above the fire spitter for a few moments, slowly come down, then rapidly fall all of a sudden. Now, I got a fire flower. I am going to terminate that spitter over there. There we are. He's gone. I'm not even going to attempt to go for the blasted star coin. I'm not confident enough in my wall jumping ability to even try for that. If anything, you can count this as another level in which I'll never try to go for all the star coins because they're not really worth it, and a couple of them are positioned in such a way that I'm more likely to die even trying to. I mean, that last star coin there, yeah, if I knew how to wall jump, I could probably go down and get it. But the first one all the way back by the blue pipe, there's no way in heck I'm going for that because that seems way too dangerous due to the blasted ceiling. And I lost the one up. What do you want? Oh. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Who's the mysterious toad that we raced with the Mushroom Mountain? Yeah, it's Dash T. I mean, come on, it's the only toad with a name that represents speed. So with that, we collected at least 2 out of the 5 star coins, but had I got the other 2, this would have been our 4th, which means we would have had, what, nearly all of them collected with the first star. But that also tells me that the next... Oh, I would have needed that shell. Oh well. That also tells me that the last coin is probably in another part of this level, under a different star. Huh. So he's blocking access to a bunch of coins. But the one to the right... Yeah, that one's blocking progress. Huh. Having the fire flower for this section is great, because I don't think there was any way past that without damage otherwise. Maybe if I found a way to completely jump over the spiky vines there, but that's really it. Yeah, it took a little longer than 8 minutes there, friendo. In fact, according to the timer, it was about 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Actually, maybe longer, considering what was cut. Okay. So, really, that wasn't that bad, right? But now we're gonna hit the bullcrap part. So let's go in and see what we can do. Naval Piranha's underground base. Alright, so that Yoshi's going to tell us to meet his friend, which he of course did, because you just read that. But his friend is all the way at the end of this section, so let's step ahead a little bit here. Yeah, so he's telling us where the hidden star is, and I can't actually get up there right now. Yeah, let's go check it out. Alright, so this is the part of the level that's caused me no end of pain. And, yeah. Let's just say that this level, or this particular star, was done over 2 different recording sessions. The first one, which consists of the first star and parts of this stage, until I actually gave up saying there's no way in heck I could do this for a bit, and had to come back at it on a different day. The second recording session is this, and then the boss. You wanna know how long that second session went? Somewhere over an hour of just this. Now, not this red section, mind you. This red section is actually a lot more lenient than it was back in the Magma Central, and I like that. It actually gives you time to figure out what you're doing and make your way across. But there's a problem. You see piranhas here. They're timed in such a way that as soon as you see an opening to safely get across, the other piranha will come down and try to hurt you. It freaking sucks. Now, there is also a star coin in this very section too, but since the timing is actually pretty lenient, you can actually grab that coin and get enough time to get out of here. Now, this section does require you to learn at least one thing, and that one thing hasn't been required in any other part of the game, really.
Mamma
And that
mia.
is you have to master wall jumping to get out of this. So let's have at it. Ready? Here we go. Touch that. Right. Now, there is a way to get past that without taking damage, but I'm horribly inconsistent at pulling it off, and it's mostly due to that spitter there. Alright, so here's how you do the wall jump. Essentially, you're supposed to press and hold the run button or the fire button while you're pressed against the wall, whilst pressing the arrow key in the direction you want to move, so you're sliding down the wall. From there, you make the jump to the other wall, do the same exact thing, press the arrow key in the direction you want Mario to move, which is, again, against the wall, so he's sliding down, and then jump. You gotta remember, again, you have to be pressing and holding the run button to actually execute this.
Oh, no.
Ah, whatever. Oh no. Oh no. At least I'm starting to get the hang of the wall jump by this point.
Oh, no!
I won't say it. I will not say it. Let's just keep going. And that should be how we get past that guy without taking damage. Again, I'm horribly inconsistent at that, and I will more than likely get hit every time I go by that guy. Whatever. Come on, come on. No, no. No, yeah. And done. Oh. Oh, right. So this is the part where we have to master the vine jump. The game doesn't tell you how to properly do this at all, so this is something you have to learn on your own. The biggest thing is, do not, and I will repeat this, do not press up when you're jumping off these vines, otherwise you'll grab right back onto them, and then screw yourself. In fact, that's actually what killed me here a lot. Except for that one, I'll admit was my fault. So, let's try this again. Hopefully being more successful. And there we go. That's how you get past that without taking damage. Right, we've got this so far, right? You want to know the funny thing about that little piranha plant? I don't actually have to tiptoe around him like I did right there. Essentially, once you're on the same level as it, you just wait for the wooden platform to get below it, and then you could jump right over him onto the wooden platform. Alright, so this time around, I believe I finally learned that I shouldn't press up until I reach the next vine segment. Here we are. And that should make this section a lot easier to traverse. Except I jumped too high. Alright, let's do this. That is a dickish placement. But the good thing is that we're almost there. The boss is just beyond that piranha plant thing. All we gotta do is give it one good old try. Yeah, there's no way in heck I can do this consistently. But at least I mastered this section, so that's all good. And there we go. So, this guy, I'm just gonna move past him. There's no real way to get past that piranha plant since it's doubled up by another pipe, and when you get the other guy to disappear, that one that spits at you will still show up. It's very hard to dodge. This boss. Alright, so this is the guy I have the biggest issue with in this entire stage. And the main problem is because this fight is more about luck than anything else. Now, if you remember the columns that you saw throughout the stage that were spitting out little piranha plants, well, now they're back. This time they can shoot either helpful items or plants. However, there's a slight problem with that, in that this is way more luck-based than it actually needs to be. So, at some point, you might get items, at some point, you just might get a whole bunch of piranha plants that go all the way across the ground here, right? And now the bigger problem there is, though, well, items can't overlap each other, so you could end up in a position where we have piranha plants all along the ground, and any of the item stuff that comes in won't spawn on that spot because there's a piranha plant there. And since the items don't go all the way across the screen, you end up in a position where there's nothing you can do. You can no longer do anything to the boss because you can't collect anything. There's two ways to get rid of these piranha plants too. You can either toss an item at them, if you can grab them of course, or if you somehow got lucky and made it here with a fire flower, you can actually eliminate them that way. But good luck sticking that through the whole fight. I've tried, it doesn't work. This, by far, is the worst designed boss in this game. At least from what we've seen. Oh yeah, and the big guy in the middle, he actually fires out a random number of fireballs at any given point. I believe it's between 1 and possibly 10 fireballs, depending on what RNG feels like at that time. And they all home in on you. Another thing to note is that you can't actually walk up to the edge and toss any item at the pulsating blob there. You actually have to kind of run at it. So you have to do a run, jump, and toss to get it to hit the bulbous thing there to actually hurt the boss. Oh yeah, and, well, I wouldn't say you're on a timer, but you do get a couple cycles before the stem comes back up, and so once you take it down, you got very, very little time to actually hit the bulbous point. Okay, that one was on me.
Oh, no!
Ugh. And every time you die, you have to go through this dialogue all over again. Oh yeah, and the fight won't start until he actually starts shooting fireballs at you. So there's that. I think that beginning phase is also on some weirdo RNG timer. It's weird. Oh man. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't want this to devolve into me just going I guess I really want to say well, I guess I could talk about the stage a little bit. I mean, you've seen what it is. It's alright. It's very poorly designed in some aspects, but it's still way better than Magma Central, and for the most part, I am way more willing to continue the stage after this particular boss than I am to ever go back to Magma Center. But I'm gonna let a lot of these deaths remain just so you can see how horrible this thing really is. And if you ever do make a fan game, please, please don't do this. Because, in honesty, this boss shouldn't be about pure luck, which it is. It should somewhat be about skill. But no, it is that. It's about luck. Can I at least get one hit on you? Oh. Nope, I'm still good. There we go. For a moment there I thought I was at an impasse. Alright. And go! Well, you know what? That wasn't gonna make it anyway. Really, I'm beginning to feel like the latter ends of this game, I think that we're approaching, is getting worse and worse. But, you know what? I'll wait till the next stage before I pass that judgment and say that somehow the design's getting worse as we progress further in. I mean, there's still, what, 1 to 2 more places after we deal with the Yoshi Forest? I think it's supposed to be the fortress that's coming up that we should unlock soon. And then whatever's after that. Oh yeah. And now you see my problem.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Tell you what, let's just skip ahead by about 40 minutes here and see what a Firefly will do. Now, of course, the Firefly will not actually hurt the boss or any of his little buddies like that. But, what it will do instead is get rid of the piranha plants that they spew out. Which, in turn, will make this boss fight a whole lot more tolerable. Oh, I really don't like how far away that thing is. Now, I do know this is a Yoshi story boss, but I'm sure in that game this boss was way better designed than this. There we go. Now, you may be thinking that this is making the fight way too easy, but believe me, if you've been at this as long as I have, I don't give 2 craps. I will make this easy as I can. Although it really doesn't help in the long run. Ooh. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the bigger vegetables have a chance of hitting the head, and therefore becoming even less effective. The smaller ones, I've never actually seen hit the piranha plant head if we toss them right, but at least they're more helpful than the larger one is at some points. And another thing, this boss has way too many hit points for as difficult as it is. Oh no. Well, we're screwed. Oh no. Alright, we got this. Still doable. Just gotta wait for the item to show up. Alright, let's do this. Boop. There's no way around that. Uh, So what you're seeing here is the optimal strategy. Always deal with the piranha plants on the ground first before you decide to take on the stems and then the bulbous point. Because if you don't, and you ignore them, there will be a chance that a whole lot more will come flying your way and eventually get to a point where you can't do anything. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm always turning left at this point, it's because of that. It seems the mushroom will fly out in whichever direction you're facing, and I want that health, and I do not want to have it fall into that lava. And we're back at full health. Alright. Yeah! Oh, yes! Oh, man. You had it coming, punk. I'm glad I got rid of you. Ugh. That was a fight and a half. But, let's grab the star.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
Alright. I believe that does it for now. So thanks for watching and join me next time as we come back in and try to deal with the rest of Yoshi's Forest. I'll see you later.